she has a very precise and sort of exacting way of working, right? That produces something so, her work comes out so exquisite, right? Because of that precision. So there's just a formal thing that's very seductive to me and that I really appreciate. But also the ideas that Deborah works with. So she's somebody who's really interested in the matters of syntax and language, though not for somebody like me as a writer, that's very interesting, but she's not as, she thinks about language more broadly, so including visual languages, and exhibits a real facility with that. So somebody who's very interested in, as syntax implies, the relationship between things, right? The relationship between the subject and the object and the verb, and so on. And then in reconfiguring those relationships and seeing what happens there. And so between that impetus to reconfigure those relationships and the exacting way that she works, the things that she produces are so surprising, right? So for example, Deborah works a lot with the aloe vera plant. And for her, that's very much about, one of the things she's very interested in is the relationship between genders, and how gender is assigned to both objects and people, right? And so she identifies the aloe vera as a plant that has both elements. So the aloe vera protrudes in a phallic sense. It penetrates space, right? Which is a masculine thing. It also can be quite violent. It's sharp. It can cut you. Again, things that we generally associate with masculine. But then the aloe vera is a plant that, in a place like Jamaica, is known for its healing properties, and that's something that people really associate with it. It has a place in all of these kind of traditional medicine histories or vocabularies, and that's very feminine. And so, thinking about that plant with its nurturing and sort of embodied characteristics, which are the feminine side, and then these very masculine, penetrative, sharp characteristics, and then mining the potential of that kind of thing coming together. That's the kind of thing that Deborah does really well, along with just incredible aesthetic capacity. She just, her palettes and the things that she makes actually look good and feel good. She's also very interested in play, coming from like word play and how plays with language and all of that. And to me, that kind of sharpness and precision of the discursive element of her work, along with pleasure, the pleasure of the aesthetic element of her work, how they come together, that's very compelling for me. Once you start thinking about the syntax of gender, for example, right, that relationship, you realize that this relationship occurs in lots of things, right? So you have a dominating agency, right? Subject, which is the masculine, it does. And then you have the dominating non-agency, whatever the opposite of that, right? That is the object that is done onto, and that is the feminine, right? Penetrative and outward going, and receptive and taking in, right? Now that also, and this is something that literary analysts and people like that and eco-critics and that kind of thing have identified. That relationship also exists in the relationship between civilization and nature, right? That relationship is also replicated in civilized people and uncivilized people, right? So there you have you know, thinking about issues of intersectionality and all of this, white, European, male, heteronormative structure or agency, and then everything else, right? Everything else falls in this object position, and that falls in this subject position. A lot of what Deborah's work does is trying to map that relationship through these various, or that dynamic through these various relationships. So man and woman, civilization and nature, blah, blah, blah. And so her materials and her, so even mirroring, right? She uses a lot of mirrors. Well, this is very much about the viewer identifying themselves in the work, which is a disruption of the subject-object binary, right? So you find that a lot of her work functions in that way and is rooted in the sort of original sin, right, of the relationship between man and nature, which colonialism and misogyny and all of that comes out of as later iterations of that same dynamic in different relationships. And so in this particular installation, both in terms of the fact that, you know, you have this grand ballroom, which is this representation of a certain kind of consumptive capacity, of alignment with certain kinds of values, European values. And so it's this representation of all of this masculinist heft, right? I have all of this money so I can buy this beautiful place, populated with all these things that I've ripped from nature and made as I feel that they should be, made them in to serve me, right? That's what this ballroom is about. And then she puts in the middle of it a vagina, basically. You know what I'm saying? That penetrates space. So it's a hole that is penetrating space, and normally the hole is the opposite of penetrative, right? And so these kinds of tensions or contradictions or plays are, I think, what are Deborah's real medium, you know? And then whatever allows her to do that, whether it is painting or 3D or styrofoam or whatever, she's prepared to play with those things as long as it gives the potential of creating those disjunctions or moments of, oh, what happened here, or something is happening that I didn't expect to happen. But it's beautiful and attractive, so I want to be involved in it, but this is also kind of uncomfortable. Why is this happening? I think she likes to play around in that place.